you're actually going backwards when you say that. The proactive model, you can get away with using per device because a lot of the reactive stuff isn't included. In a proactive approach, you're committing to monitoring all of the critical devices in that customer's network, you know, all the servers, all the workstations, all the router switches, and you're committing to doing all the maintenance that you need to do to kind of keep everything optimized, up and running, reliable, stable, that type of thing, and keeping it all secure because you're patching it and all that other stuff. In a proactive model, all the support services, and so the essentials model, what you're seeing here on the left, is really kind of the new proactive model. I'm calling it the minimum viable program, or it could be the advanced, you know, however you decide to design your programs. But in the proactive model, all the reactive stuff and looking at kind of the support services down at the bottom in the pink, you know, your help desk, your reactive, your emergency, your vendor management, all of that is out of scope. And so you would either tally it up and send them a separate invoice each month, or maybe you sell them a block and then you pull off the block. But it's out of scope. So because it's not considered a fully managed program, an all-inclusive program, you know, it still somewhat makes sense to charge on a per workstation basis because there's going to be another supplemental piece that's going to be for all the reactive components. When you're saying that you're moving to a fully managed in a device model, and maybe I'm not understanding the question, Joseph, fully managed is all in. You know, fully managed is that you're monitoring everything, you're taking care of everything, you're securing everything, and then any sort of reactive stuff, you know, all that help desk calls, the reactive, the emergency, the vendor management, all of that is also included. So you're taking care of the network, you're taking care of the people, you're taking care of all the reactive stuff and the applications that they're using. And because it's all inclusive, that's where you do want to promote it as you can promote on a per user basis because there's really very little that's out of scope. Now, obviously, it's not fully managed all inclusive because your move ad changes and your projects and stuff like that is entirely out of scope in a fully managed model. But for the most part, it is all inclusive, and you're sending them one bill per, you know, each month based on, you know, how many users are at that organization. So so where you're saying, you know, move them to a fully managed model on a device, fully managed in a device model instead of user, that's not really how it works. Device can work for your proactive, and per user works for fully managed because everything pretty much is included in that per user price point. And if I was, you know, personally, if I was an MSP, I don't know if I would actually do fully managed because you really do need to make sure that you have all of your costs in line, because you don't have the luxury of going back and billing additionally if, goodness, that network crapped out and you ended up spending, you know, 8, 12, 15 hours. So you need to make sure that you're really building in an appropriate buffer to deal with kind of those extremely unexpected circumstances. And if you were going to do fully managed, then I would offer it to customers that you've had as customers for a while. So you have history, so that you've been monitoring as part of your proactive program for maybe a year, you know, 2 years. And so you were able to kind of get all the kinks worked out in their network. You know, if their network was subpar in a proactive model, you're able to go in and get the investments done and get the upgrades done that you feel are necessary to raise that network up to an acceptable standard. And then once you have some good reliability and stability built in, then yes, it's more of an invite into a fully managed program if that's what you feel you do need to offer. So just a couple of my 2 cents there on that one.